Recording. It's like, hi, this is a recording. And
You ain't say that you had beef with Blue Cheese?
All right, welcome back to Beef with Blue Cheese. This is
Episode
episode
4.
4. This is Heltah Skeltah Magnum Force, which is the birth
Inspiration.
of the title of the podcast.
Inspiration
so
for the
we
title.
So we needed to do this pretty soon up front to hear it. I have some clips chopped up, including those clips, so that should explain some things.
3-part skit.
Yeah.
I think it's the only 3-part skit in the history of hip hop. It made it
No,
through. I guess it's.
Yeah, I feel like there's been like what's funny is it's a 3-part skit and it's all within the middle of the album. It's like a skit,
Yeah.
song,
It's
skit,
every other song,
skit. Like they really wanted to get that.
Yeah.
They really wanted to tell that story tightly. 1998, this album came out October 13th, 1998.
Yeah, I think a big reason of why this didn't have critical success is the other albums that came out in 1998.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
No,
saw
I didn't look
what
up that.
albums came
No.
out. Absolutely absurd. The
Yeah.
quality of albums that came out in 1998. Yeah, I mean, just for starters,
Right.
the Dino Spectrum, top of the list.
Okay. Well, that
Pete
did.
Rock, Soul Survivor.
Dino Spectrum did not steal any thunder from Heltah Skeltah. I mean, let's
No.
be honest. I mean, that was
No.
a great album.
I was just throwing that in
Yeah.
there for us.
But that did not. Yeah.
But yeah, oddly enough. Gangstar Moment of Truth, Big Pun.
Wow. Okay.
Capital Punishment came out. DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot,
Yeah.
out. Most Def and Dalib Kweli.
All right.
Black Star came out.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
huge
mean-
year for that's.
and another one that I forgot about, Styles of Beyond,
Oh, really?
came out in 1998.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Beastie
Also,
Boys.
I don't know if that also didn't steal much thunder from this, but those other ones definitely overshadowed this. And
Yeah.
Duck Down Records. I always forget. I always forgot
Yeah.
the name Duck Down Records. I want to add that in this little sidebar of the little hip hop logos. I got Boot Camp Click, but I don't have Duck Down Records. I want to put that in there.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was. I guess I just don't
Well,
remember that was.
Well, they would always shout that
that was
out.
the,
I think on one of the OGC albums they listed. It was like
I was gonna say that's an OGC.
yeah, I'm Duck Down Staff even when I'm by myself. I'm Boot Camp Click even when I'm by myself.
That's
I'm
right.
OGC even when I'm by myself. And then you had that Huss. Yeah, that's an album I definitely want to get to.
Yeah, I can tolerate Starang. I don't mind him when he's on the Heltah Skeltah albums. It's everybody else that they just like kick a verse to that just kind of
Yeah,
ruins
not
the
good.
album
There's
for
not
me.
not a lot of
Yeah.
helpful features on this album, especially when you have your two best out of all the Duck Down crew, all of them. From your Cocoa Brothers and your Smith and Wessons,
Cocoa
Smith and
Brothers.
Wesson who turned into Cocoa Brothers,
Yeah,
and the OGCs and all that. The most charismatic two of them, Heltah Skeltah. So it's like, why are we adding a bunch of non-Heltah Skeltah members on these songs? But that's why.
yeah, and it's almost like they just didn't have enough. Like, they made a record without having enough material for the record,
Right.
And so they had to supplement it
Yeah, but
with
there's also-
other people
but-
from. Yeah,
There's a lot of songs on this record,
know.
but I guess that was the era where they put, it had to be, what was it? It was 19 songs. Well,
I
it's
think there-
a skit, so probably 15
yeah. There's
songs.
a bunch of
maybe,
skits.
I don't know.
Yeah, 15 songs.
But even that's a lot. Like I like 13 is a sweet spot for an album to me.
Yeah, especially if they're all songs and like it kind of flows as an album.
Yeah.
This one is just like a bunch of random songs.
Yeah.
It seems like it was put together outside of the
Yeah.
skits and outside of like the title song.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it
Yeah.
doesn't vibe for me.
You're now you're leading you're showing your cards is what you're doing. You're you felt less enthusiastic about this on a re-listen, this album.
100%. Yeah.
I still like it. There's definitely a lot of nonsense on here, and all the features I could do without. Every single feature I could do without. Well, and not every single feature, because one of my favorite lines, one of my most quotable lines, is from a feature on this album.
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna put a mental note in there of what it is, and I'm gonna see if I'm right.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I'm right.
All right. That'll be interesting.
It better not be corrupt.
It's not.
Or
It
we're
is
gonna
not.
have to like
It's
not
not
be friends
corrupt.
anymore.
It's not anything in the Dog Pound song. That's a skippable
Okay.
song for sure.
It's a shame because like the beginning of the song when it's Rock and Ruck's verse is actually pretty good. I can tolerate
Yeah.
the beat. It almost works well with their voice. And then you just have the anchor at 2:20 where the dude just starts talking.
Yeah. Yeah, not good.
It's brutal.
Yeah, I don't even like that beat. That whole song to me is like, it just doesn't. It's got that West Coast beat. Every time an East Coast,
it's West.
Every
as
time,
soon as you
every
turn it
time an
on.
East Coast rapper would have a West Coast rapper on their song, they always brought in a West Coast beat, a sound.
Yeah.
And I guess they probably vice versa if a West Coast, but it was almost like it had to get permission to use that sound, so they needed to co-sign it by having somebody actually rap on that album from the West Coast. That's the way it seemed to me.
Yeah, it's like heavy on the 1 and 2. It's heavy on the 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and then the 3 and 4 are a little bit softer. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just never really liked it much.
The whole West Coast sound.
Yeah, just
Not
the
even
whole
like
Red
not even
Coast
like the
sound.
Dr. Dre or like Snoop Dogg stuff.
I mean, some of it. I guess the Snoop Dogg or like early stuff was a little different.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was.
certainly was more.
And it had that whistle.
commercialized.
Like
It was-
I could listen to that. That whistle. That West Coast whistle I call it is like I could listen to that
Yeah.
forever. Like Dr. Dre used
Yeah.
that a lot in his songs.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's like you're saying, that's a big year for rap music. I mean, I remember my favorite of those, but that Black Star album was just
It was
constant rotation to me. So
Yeah,
that's
and that was after Mos Def's solo album, so we kind of got like into Mos Def from that. And
Mos
then-
Def's solo album was before.
I think it wasn't
No,
it?
I don't think so.
No, really? Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
I wouldn't die on that hill, but I remember getting into Mos Def via Black Star.
Maybe you're
Maybe I
right.
just didn't-
You know what? Maybe I might be thinking of Talib's album because that came out after. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
thinking of his solo album.
Talib's. Yeah, right.
Yeah, could be thinking of that.
Well, maybe you're thinking of like the sound bombing, all the sound bombing stuff, and that Lyricist Lounge.
Maybe
That was all
yeah,
before.
because that's where we
that
heard
was
him
all
first.
before all
Yeah, that was Lyricist
So, yeah.
Lounge. Yeah, that was like 95, 96. Yeah.
But that was, yeah. So I didn't realize that this album. Well, I knew that it didn't do great. It wasn't a huge critical success, and you never hear anybody
Yeah.
talking about this album. But actually, they broke up shortly after that because it was so.
Yeah, right after the
because
album.
it didn't
It was so
do
bad.
so well.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there was like something going on with the two of them. I know Rock brought up a lot of that in his solo album, the Rockness AP in like 2017.
Yeah.
There was a couple tracks
yeah.
on there that were about like all the screw ups that he had. Like he tried to make it on his own, and he was listening to the wrong people, trying to get his own deal,
Yeah.
and wasn't paying attention to Heltah Skeltah.
Was that
And I think that was a big part of it.
I think his beefs were mostly with the record label more than I think even Ruck. Like I don't know did him and Ruck have a lot of thing.
I don't think so. I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that like people were like in his ear, like, "Oh, you're carrying the group.
Rock.
You need to go on your own. You're kind of carrying the group type of thing." And that's what he was rapping about on his solo
That's
album.
funny.
Was just how he got the wrong people, or he was listening to the wrong people.
Yeah, because that's really interesting because I remember when listening to this, I felt I always was listening for the rock parts, the
course,
voice. But in retrospect, looking back, Sean Price being what he is now, is a better rapper. He put out a better body of work since Heltah Skeltah, and he has shown
Certainly,
he's
yeah.
shown more skill lyrically than Rock. Rock was just charismatic. He had the voice down. He he played with words. He was funny. Like he wrote a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah, he had a lot of puns.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of puns in
Yeah.
his rhymes, and they were great. You could tell he's a smart guy, and he talked about like, he was a straight A student. I don't doubt it. He was a smart guy.
probably,
And
yeah.
You could tell lyrically.
Yeah.
You could tell lyrically he was a smart dude. And on his solo album was actually quite good. I thought.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of problems I have, listen, a lot of homophobic slurs on this album. And
There's quite a few.
and rap in this era was just littered with it. That was just part of rap. They threw it around.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
forgive it. I can listen to it. Then it's still like when I hear it, it's like, ooh, that doesn't age well. That's not great. But
Yeah.
like, if you're still like in 2017, because I remember listening to that Rock album, and he still had some homophobic slurs on that album.
Oh, sure.
And I was like,
Yeah.
boy, I'm like, you're making it hard for me to even listen to your old stuff. I'm like, you gotta move with the times a little bit, like. And
Yeah.
I know the whole argument, like, oh, it's not. I don't mean it like that. It's like this or like that. Okay, but it doesn't sound great. It doesn't. But just when it hits my ears, it just sounds like it's just shocking. Still.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously he lives in a different spot than where
Yeah,
we currently reside.
100%,
So I think it's a
100%.
little bit different lifestyle.
Yeah,
I think it's
it
a
is.
little bit different.
But just like
Yeah.
I'm listening to it from where I'm listening to it from. Like, he's
Sure.
making it from where he's making
Yeah.
it from. I'm listening to it from where I'm listening to it from. And what I was looking up like just random news articles that came out like around this time, and actually, so this album came out October 13th, and the Matthew Shepard incident, the gay kid who was like killed,
Yeah, drug behind a car.
yeah, he was that incident happened October 6th and then he died on the 12th. So it's like, it was a different time obviously then, but it's like looking back now, it's like you hear all these like homophobic slurs goes hand in hand with like right exactly when the Matthew Shepard incident happened.
Well, the day after the album came out, probably not the best placement.
No.
If you're
Yeah.
not, I wouldn't say they're necessarily playing to that crowd.
No, it
and
wasn't.
Nor would that crowd even know what's going on. But yeah,
right,
just bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But just like looking back, like from where, like again, I'm listening to it from the perspective I'm listening to it from, and
Sure.
I didn't know the Matthew Shepard story then. Like I wasn't paying attention to it, and that wasn't in my world to even a concern. I didn't think I would sing along to those words, not even an issue. But another thing that happened was Google was founded right before this album came out, which doesn't seem like that long ago. I don't know, for Google to be what it is now.
Yeah, I mean that's what, not even. I mean, 23 years.
Yeah, I
24
know,
years.
but just to be like now the most popular, the most
They
dominating.
kind of run everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
if you want to talk Big Brother, they're Big Brother.
Yeah, advertising. I mean,
Big as it gets.
let's see. I looked up some movies that came out right before this. Was Rush Hour came out right before this movie? Basketball. Remember Basketball? The movie. Did you ever see that?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that was
that was
horrible.
not good. And Buffalo '66. Did you ever know? You ever end up watching that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
Christina
good, yeah.
Ricci. Absolutely. I love
Yeah, so not different worlds. But
her 7 head and all.
yeah,
I love it.
Dirty Work came out right before this. One of the funniest
Of course,
movies, one of the most
absolutely.
underrated movies,
One of the best movies ever.
underrated movies of
Yeah.
all time. And that was what else? Right after this movie was Night at the Roxbury, which I remember seeing in the movie theater. It's just funny. Like obviously we're like
Yeah, we did see that.
yeah, we're dynamic people. We can like multiple things, but it's just the idea of listening to Magnum Force driving to the theater to see Night at the Roxbury is just
Right
Yeah.
after seeing Dirty Work and knowing actually what comedic genius
Yeah.
is, and then
Night at the Roxbury,
Roxbury,
yeah.
which is just a disaster.
not good.
But there's a Artie Lang interview. I don't know if you've ever heard it, where
He talks about Don Rickles.
it just no. He talks
Oh.
about him and Greg Giraldo and how he saved Giraldo's life on a flight to L.A.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever hear
No.
this? I'm not gonna. I don't want to necessarily spoil
Yeah.
it, but it's just pure Greg Giraldo. It just sparked my memory on
Yeah.
this. But you have to hear. Like it's
I'll have to look that
having
up,
Artie
yeah.
Lang.
It's like-
I think it was on Rogan's podcast. I think it was the only time that Rogan went to Artie's studio, because Artie's not allowed out of like
still
this 4-block radius on New York, or was not
wasn't
at the time,
right,
which
right,
was
right.
like
oh yeah, he
a
is
year
now.
or two.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he went to Artie's studio and did the podcast from there. But it's like a 10-minute story, and it's just fantastic. And I love Artie Lang, and it's this story is awesome.
Yeah, he's a good storyteller, Artie Lang for sure.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Artie Lang tells us, the story just about on set of Dirty Work with when Don Rickles was the theater manager, and just how he would just crack them up. They would break every time. They would try to get through a scene, and he would just look at him and goes, "Look at you ape," and he's like that, and it's just like the way he would say it, they would all break out.
I could not imagine standing there trying to hold a straight face. And then when the other guy, and he goes, we didn't have all this crazy contraceptive stuff like pulling out.
Yeah, we have these birth control methods like pulling out. Best thing Bob Saget's ever done in his life was direct that movie, because I
100%,
haven't
yeah.
liked a thing Bob Saget's been attached to. I mean, as a kid, I liked Full House, but I'm an adult now. But
Hey, did you know he was a dirty comic?
Yeah, I know.
Oh God! If
I'm
I
so
hear that one more
tired. So
goddamn
tired of
time.
that.
Did you have a bit about that?
No, I
swear heard
posted
you
on
talking about
Facebook.
that
I
somewhere.
posted on Facebook a while back.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like, hey,
That's right.
as if it's shocking.
Ugh.
So yeah, let's get into the Magnum. So super excited for this to come out because the first album was just great, and
Yep.
I haven't listened.
Yeah, Nocturnal is probably one of the most underrated albums of the '90s,
And-
without a doubt. And that's an album where you can listen straight.
Yeah,
through.
I
It's
haven't really
phenomenal.
listened to it. I was actually thinking about doing that, so I could talk about it a little bit. But we'll do that album in its own. But I remember that being the
Sure.
case. But I just know that there are definitely a few songs in there that are some of my favorite rap songs ever. I mean, of all time. So
Yeah, and it's not a compilation album. It's
Yeah.
just the two of them,
right, yeah.
and
right.
that's what made it great.
And then in between that and this, they did a Boot Camp Click album, which was, I guess, just
Mm-hmm.
a Boot Camp as OGC and Heltah Skeltah together as, I think,
Yeah.
as Boot Camp Click, as far as my memory serves. All right. Well, So
And it started off great too. I mean, "Rock the World." I was like, oh man, I was
Yeah.
just getting right into
Yeah.
it. It was a perfect song to start
Yeah.
off the album with, coming off of Nocturnal, and
I'm gonna play some of it now.
Even if you did a jam featuring Lauryn Hill, it's a warning to chill. Fraudulent skills, y'all be kicking on tracks I'm flipping. Making the mill in the instant, yo, that's the difference. Between the pawn and the rook, son. A soldier and a shook one from out of town up in Brooklyn.
Click, boom, the lyrical rocket launcher, then ran up on ya, making shit hot as tea you wanna. You niggas get torn to pieces, you shitty as a diaper. I strap on bombs and blow your face up like Striker.
Yeah, I mean that's just a good sample of how they just start the thing out. I mean, yeah, just he's got that charisma. There's no getting around just the
It's
way
crazy.
he's click boom, like he says
Yeah.
fun things. He's so good. And
Yeah, and they're perfect together.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, they're like a yin and
have
yang.
different
It's like I mean,
Yeah,
Trump
it's
Price is
perfect.
just a straight up, just like
Yeah.
just rapping about
Yeah.
just
he's
straight,
like a classic MC.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Rock is like a little more playful. Yeah, so good. Did you have any points in that song that you were?
No, the whole thing's good.
Yeah.
No, there was nothing else with that. I mean, the whole song is good. And then you going into the next song, "Call of the Wild," is one of my favorites on the album too.
Yeah, let's see what I pulled up.
So the album started off great.
Yeah.
I mean, it started off just on fire, and
Yeah,
it kind of fizzled out.
let me see what I had. pulled up.
Angel of death, peep how I greet you. Leave you for dead and let the savage
Yo,
niggas
boy,
eat you.
don't never test MFC. This ain't no classroom. I blast whomever. You better get catch a ass wound. I'm pissed like a bathroom. Come test the center. What? I fuck your whole starting five in your bench. Yo, fuck what you been through with the troubles on your mental. Test small do when you get sent through a window.
That's small Duke, and you get sent through a window. Yeah, they talk about violence better than anybody else. Like they just
sure
talk
do.
about shooting people and beating people up like better than anybody else. Yeah, and it's
Good weed, bitches, and guns, baby.
Fun beat. Actually, I had the Wikipedia up to see the production on this album, but I didn't know any of the people. The
None.
people on the producers on this. I guess like
The
all
Beat
like
Miners did the first
Yeah,
album, right?
yeah, it's what it said, Beat Miners, but I didn't see any Beat Miners on the.
No, they didn't have them do any tracks on
Yeah.
this one.
I have it here. Unless, well, it's unless these guys are like in the Beat Miners, then you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Like it doesn't say. I don't really know the guys. It says produce. I guess there's a producer named Self because some of them say producer Self, and I'm like, oh, they produce it themselves.
Okay.
But I think no. I think it's a guy named Self.
So
Which does not help. Try to
So Ruck's verse on "Call of the Wild," is one of my favorites on the album. 2:30, I think it starts.
I tried to pull like some Ruck, some Rock. I tried to be fair between the two of them, but let me see one. Hold on a second. Cut. I'm trying to pull up. I wasn't prepared to play
Edit this
something
portion.
from. Yeah, they can wait. People can sit through 2 seconds of. All right, what was the time, Mark?
I think it started at 2:30 or something like that.
2:30. All right, let's skip to.
Maybe 2:25.
Let's go to that.
Only way you do that is on TV.
Hardcore.
There ain't one to no relationship.
Hey
Yo, I'm Tone Sean. I got rid of the afro. That shit played out like leather jackets with them tassels.
I just love that line.
Assholes who don't know no better. Personal vendetta on this great hunt for cheddar. Don't never let me catch you acting stupid. I clap you, slap you silly until he realizes he's back.
I'm gonna actually pull that too. Some of these songs I actually pulled 2 verses from. I think now that I'm listening to them, like I think the next thing I'm about to play. Yeah. Yeah, I did pull that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a play worthy line.
But I have to.
There we go. Cue that up for the next one. Yeah. Let's pull this back up. Call the Wild. This was was that the one you said that your father came in the car and when you were listening to that?
Yeah, that was the one that was on. Man, they said the N-word a lot on this thing.
Yeah, we are allowed to. I give your father props. Well, I don't know if he did or if you're just this way you're telling it. I give your father props for saying the N-word back then.
No, he would have never said that word.
Yeah, but no, chance. But not 0% like,
chance.
People like would say it if they're referencing it. Like now, it's like don't even say it if you're referencing it. Like I would say it if I was referencing somebody saying it, like in my mind. But now I'm like that doesn't not even at all ever. So.
Yeah, there's some people that can get away with it, even if you're a white guy.
Yeah.
Like you have to have enough cred and enough.
Yeah.
Like they have to understand where you're coming from. But that's just a no.
Yeah, I'm not in that world, and I'm not fighting that battle.
No.
Yeah.
But I overheard him too, so it was like I was in earshot, and he was talking to my mom.
Good for him.
Yeah, but yeah, good for him. Props with pops.
Okay, so now we got again Method Man feature. Method Man,
hey.
everyone wants Method Man. Johnny Blaze on laced there a little track.
So this came out in 98.
Yeah, this is quite a while after.
You're talking from
Judgment Day?
like 93 to 98.
Yeah, just constant.
Method Man was on like
constantly
every
showing
album.
up on people's albums. Yeah. I think I might have clipped some of those.
Crooks, willies, pimps, all my sons. No matter what you do, baby, stack your guns and run.
Yeah, he's got first verse.
And elevate on this while my brother respect mine like my baby mother. I shine when it rains. The sky's crying for all the black youth that's dying. I heard he went out clutching his iron.
Yeah, he sounds great on it. I would, if you're gonna have somebody, it's not a great beat. It's like, and the chorus I don't like. But I like the fuck it, even players. Like they were so not into like the whole, like the players, thing back in the 90s. They were like, yeah, fuck it, even players. Yeah. I don't know what else I pulled from this.
And then Method Man was on his solo album too.
Oh, is that right?
So brought that back. Yeah, he brought that back.
I mean, those are like 2 of my favorite voices in rap music history. For them to be side by side together is like that's awesome. Let's see. What was that? Guns and all right. So I think my favorite, one of my favorite rap lines. It's very brief. Is on this next song, a perfect jab, which is featuring Supreme of the Rap. That's how it's labeled on Apple Music here. Did you ever hear anything more or less of this guy?
No, it sounds like one of the names I'd come up for myself. I'd come up with my own rapper name.
Yeah, I know, not good.
Supreme of the Rap.
But that being said, but they call himself Mr. Perfect. He calls himself. He refers to himself on this album as Mr. On this song as Mr. Perfect, which I feel like I have heard referenced in other Boot Camp, Click, and songs.
Unless they're talking about the wrestler, I got no clue.
I don't know. Is that my sound going off? The dinging? I don't know.
I heard it, so it was probably yours.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to turn that off. I think it's my Adobe giving me notifications that
your free trial's up.
Yeah,
bud.
my free trial's up.
Fuck you, pay me.
All right, so yeah, let's dive into some perfect jab. This isn't necessarily. I took 3 clips from this song, 4 clips. I must like this song a lot.
Really, I completely skipped this one.
Yeah, no, I think I like this song a lot.
Not that it was bad. I just had a lot of horrible things to say about the songs coming after this.
Okay, yeah.
This whole shit's play like Jordan.
No, this is a good track.
There's also short clips. I love that slide. You get your ass out like baboons, or me with my.
Ass out like baboons, or me with no drawers on the way my pants droop. Bang to your equilibrium, you're physically dismantled. Batten down the hatches.
Yeah, that's just the
And
beat.
then this whoever I guess that's the supreme
Yeah,
rapper
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He needs to get a new voice.
He needs to get a new voice. You don't like the voice?
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind that voice. And like he's the one that raps. He raps. It's just a line that I repeat a lot in my head for whatever reason. Like sometimes there's like an earworm just
Okay.
gets caught in your head, and I just throughout the day,
Yeah.
even if I haven't heard this song in a long time, it'll be something that just pops in my head, and I'll just sing it. I think because of the way he raps it.
It's almost like he like raps with his like nose pinched together.
Yeah, a
He's
little
like
bit.
got a
Yeah.
clothespin on there.
Yeah, I don't mind it though. I'm being honest. Where to go?
Yeah, let it rip.
Supreme is
No, no.
not your ordinary type of guy. When I get hyper, I burn that ass like all types of lies.
Alright. Maybe I'm not the best, but I'm one of them. See these whack cats think they nice, we make fun of
Cause we
them.
running them back to they blocks for reinforcement.
That's what that line I love. All right. I mean, I'm not the best, but I'm one of them. Like that. I love anytime anybody. There's that line. It reminds me of the KRS One line where he says, "I'm maybe I'm not the best, but I'm in the." No, he says.
Oh,
he goes,
I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2,
4
3,
and
4,
5,
and 5.
and then the slug verse
Yeah.
where he says,
Yeah.
I'm
But I'm
not
in
the
the
best,
top
but I'm
two.
in the top two." Those three. I
Yeah.
put those three lyrics together because I like
Yeah,
that
the
boast.
that whole verse from KRS-One.
I'm not
is
saying
that,
I'm the best.
That verse
I'm
is
sorry, I
what-
lied.
is-
I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that-
I love a
that's a
good
great
boast.
verse,
Just I love a boast. It
Yeah.
doesn't fit my personality at all, but boy,
Yeah.
I love when somebody can boast.
Run me jabs since the jab since the days of Adam. Before Eve hit the script, it was predicted for me to bring some shit like this. But now we out to bring about terror.
Coming up.
I'm about cheddar. They call me Mr. Perfect cause I'm simply without error. You couldn't weather my endeavor.
I love that line. They call me Mr. Perfect because I'm simply without error. And I don't know why. Every once in a while, I'll just be working, and I'll just be like, they call me Mr. Perfect because I'm simply without error. I love the way he breaks up the syllables a little bit. Like, he kind of, like, stutters them a
Yeah.
little bit. And
It is pretty good. Yeah.
And but I really love the idea of like fucking that line up in the studio and like having a retake that and be like, oh, what's the matter, Mr. Perfect? It looks like you're with that. It looks like there's some errors happening. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
errors.
And you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna rewrite that line. Maybe I'm not as good. And then
Take 73.
yeah, I'm in my head now about it. I'm in my head. I'll admit I'm in my head about it. I boasted about being perfect, and here I am. I can't get a take right. And then,
DJs call me Balboa, Swan call me Rockola, Hola, four down, reach out and punch something like a Motorola. On the page, I'm on this hoe, I call a paper, you make cola dough, but anyway, I slay a boa any day, you know what?
I just the way he rhymes along
That's
the
a
beat.
good
Yeah,
verse.
that's I don't.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
verse there.
that's and the rhythm of that verse. That's so good.
Yeah, his cadence,
Cadence,
there is
yeah, just matches the beat.
fantastic.
You know, perfect. He keeps up with it. He's just so good. He's just so much fun to listen to.
That's what I say. He could rap the phone book, and I'd be right there, first one to buy it.
Which is why, like back when I was younger, I thought he was, the one to listen to. But I definitely,
It's just a shame. Like that's the only 2 albums I think of from them. I know they came out with stuff after.
I
that,
never
but
listened. I
can't
don't
say
think I ever
listened
even
any
listened
of
to that
it.
third
Zero.
album. Maybe I did once through, and I
zero.
was just like disappointed. But I think it's just production. Like so many rappers that were good then, like they can still rap. Like it's just the production, the beat choice of so much of it. They try to get too
Yeah, they
weird
just
with it,
make-
or just kick and a snare, just boom bap. Just give me boom bap and rap over it. Like I don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play me the fucking
Yeah.
hits and get rolling because it just give me the simple
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, the perfect example of that is J. Rue's third album. Although a lot of the tracks are great,
Yeah.
there's some in there that are just such big misses that you don't get in his first 2
Right.
albums. What is it? Heroes for Hire? Is that
Yeah.
is that the name
Yeah.
of it? You can't find that thing anywhere.
I have
think
it.
I have
Yeah,
it.
I have it somewhere. I have it. Yeah.
But you can't find it on Apple
Right.
Music or Amazon anywhere. It's nowhere to be
Yeah.
found. But there's a lot of great tracks on that. But he what did he take the money instead of paying Premiere? He made it himself and took the money,
which he's
and
still
had like
doing.
Ms. Marvell make beats or something like
Yeah.
that, which is just crazy.
I think he made a lot of
don't-
beats, and like
don't
I follow him on Instagram. Like he's still making his own beats, and like a lot of it is not good, but occasionally like he'll come up with something good, and it'll be like, oh, but you can't even like he doesn't release it. Like you have to buy it straight from his website. Like he's
And what's ridiculous is that like him and Premiere might have been better than Guru. And
yeah.
Like that's how good they were
I mean,
together. I mean, Gangstar was great.
Yeah.
But I mean, when J. Rue rapped on a Premiere track, that it's as good as it
I know
gets.
that I listened to more J. Will the Damager than I did listen to a Gangstar. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah. Hey, that Gangstar album came out in 1998.
That's
too.
right. You said Moment of Truth, right?
Yeah.
Such a good album. Yeah. I mean, that was like that's one of my favorite examples of because they started out much earlier than that. Like they have some like almost old school sounding stuff. Like they kind of, but later in their career album, comparatively, that's just so good. They kept up, they moved with the times. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and I mean, J. Rue was on. I think is that where we saw or heard him for the first time?
I don't remember.
No,
the first time I ever heard him, I think, was You Playing Yourself, just on the radio. Hot 97 used to play You Playing Yourself.
Yep,
which was on his second album.
So
we had to go.
I can't believe.
I had to go back and listen to. That was his big
Sunrises
single.
in the East.
Yeah, and then Blase. He was featured on that, or he was the chorus of that, or something like that. So that was like another big J. Rue moment. Remember that song, that When the East is in the House? When the East is in the House?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yep.
But how do we get to that from this? I mean, just the
DJ Premier and the whole...
Right. Yeah. Like stick to what you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get funky. That's right, because J. Rue made a lot of funky beats like that. 99.9.
Percent.
That was a weird beat in the Seinfeld song. Was it called Was it called Seinfeld?
It was called Seinfeld. That was the name
and
of
that had a very weird beat, but it was good, but weird.
Yeah.
I did I think all this clip, the skit. I just did the whole thing because I actually thought this was pretty funny. This skit, like he did the Erykah Badu song called Tyrone. They decided we were gonna have. We're gonna have Tyrone answer. We're gonna have the guy
answer the phone.
We're gonna have Tyrone answer the phone.
It is quite funny.
Brother, man. All right, yo, hold on. Hey, yo, Tyrone. Yeah. Hey, yo, Ty, man. Yeah. Phone. Hello. Hey, yo, what up? What up, Ty? Yo, what's up, dog? Yo, it's me, man. Yo, she tripping, yo, man. Who? Old girl, man. She ain't acting right, man. What the fuck just happened? Come on, man. Yo, man, she told me to call you, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Told me I'll be tripping so much, man. I ain't even, man. So I'm freeloading and stuff. Come on, man. Come on, you see me. When I be in the club, don't I be making moves?
He tries to justify it. He's like, I go to the clubs, but I'm trying to make moves.
He's giving you his side of the story.
I don't really, I'm trying to make these moves, but you understand, man. I don't be holding like that. I get money for, some money. I don't understand. Just come get me, dog. I'm outside right now, son. She kicked me out. I couldn't even use her phone.
So they couldn't use her phone.
I don't know if I listened to this whole thing ever. I think I just skipped it after listening to it a little bit.
So it's November, son. I'm getting ready to come on, man. Come on. Get my shit, man. You right in front of the crib? Yeah, man. Come on, man. All right, I'm on my way.
She kicked me out. It's November, son.
She said I couldn't use her phone. Yeah, so that goes right in.
Yeah, they were good. Their skits were funny. I mean, obviously, we think they're funny.
So right into this nonsense.
Yeah,
I don't want a love song from these guys. Like, not that it's not a love song. It's not a love song. It's a breakup song. But
I have it. It's in my goddamn notes. You can read it. Why is Heltah Skeltah making a love song? I don't need to hear Sean Price talking about his love
heartbreak,
life.
Like whatever it is, yeah. But that being said, I did take a clip from it, so we can play it.
Hey, yo, we fight every night. Now that's not kosher. I reminisce with bliss before Eshkoshka. We was closer. Later on, you was supposed to be the one that I stayed with, but it seemed that you played tricks. Every day get worse than the day before. Maybe you're acting too immature, insecure. Plus, I'm looking for the cure. Keep flipping like you do, I'm looking at the door. I'm about to get the fuck out of here. Word up.
It's like a song that you would expect for like the record to scratch and then actually go into the real song because they're just goofing around.
Yeah. It seemed like who was that guy? It wasn't Timbaland, but it was like there was another guy, Jermaine Dupri. It sounds like a Jermaine Dupri type of like a beat.
It does. Yeah, that's a good call on your part. Yeah, that's good on you. But yeah, it's like the whole trying to commercialize an album at that point in time. It was like, oh, we got to slip an R&B track in there. I mean, we talked about it like Nas did it, Method Man did it, but his was actually like probably one of the best tracks on the album
because it had still had a very grungy sound to it. This is very poppy.
It did,
and the hook on it. Like I didn't play any like the chorus on it. The guy's singing on it, but
yeah, the one later on is a little bit better. I don't remember the name of I forget the name
Slow
of the
Jam?
song, but yeah, there's another one that, what is it? Keep Your Head Up or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
What is the name of that song?
Yeah.
But that one was a little bit better. I don't know if it's necessarily a love song, but it's like a slower
Yeah.
R&B type.
Okay. Yeah, like I said,
And then you go,
it's not like he's rapping about how much he loves his girl, or whatever. Like that's, you definitely want to hear that. He's definitely talking about some, he's fighting with this woman a lot, but at the same time, you can't fault them for wanting to like broaden. They don't want to just rap about the same thing every time, but it's also like, I don't know, just make it the same. It can be done, like we said before. Like other people have done it, so just do it better.
yeah, it's just like Mobb Deep coming out with a song.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, can you picture that? No.
I'm trying to think.
So
Yeah,
don't do it.
I mean, the one listener who's listening might be like, no, there was that one song, but I'm trying to think. I can't. I nothing.
Is there one?
I feel like there might be somewhere in there, but I don't know.
I meant a listener.
Yeah. Oh, listener. Oh no.
No, right, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And then we go from, so it's Chicka Woo.
Chicka Woo.
That's the name of the song.
And why
then
is
we
it called
got,
Chicka Woo? I mean,
no, I mean, come on. And then then it's Two Keys, no?
no, it's I Ain't Having That, which was the single.
Oh, so that
This was got played on the radio. This song, like this was like their big.
This was a
hit.
Yeah, this was a good song.
It was, but it's there's features on it. You got Sarang Wonder
again.
and Doc Holliday, and it's just they go just back and forth. There's not even like one does a verse.
Yeah.
It's like I think everybody's got 2 verses on it, and they just trade back and forth. There's no chorus. It's just a scratch of Redman. I Ain't Having That. And it's like the fact that this was a radio hit back in the day shows you how different rap is now. Like this was,
Well, especially considering it was like F that, I ain't having that. I ain't having that.
probably
F
a lot
that.
of edits. It's also very long.
Yeah.
It's like
It
six.
is.
So it was.
'Cause
It was probably an edited
yeah.
version that was on the radio. Probably not the full version. Yeah.
There's a couple timestamps that I have in there that are fantastic. Another Ruck line, another Ruck
Let's
verse.
see. I
that
have.
love, and
Yeah.
then 314.
I took 2 things out of it, so let me see if
Okay.
it covers it on there.
Life.
You're not gonna have that.
For life, son.
Magnum.
They don't like us. They don't like us.
They ain't gotta like us. Fuck them, son.
Skarang, forever like Wu-Tang. My crew brings drama, hanging your ass upside down by your shoestring.
Yeah, so I mean, I like Strang on that. I like Strang's
Yep.
voice. I wanted to hear like
Yeah, I
that's
don't
just
mind
the way it
him.
opens up. So I wanted to hear that, and forever, and then forever like Wu-Tang. You gotta love
Yeah, of course.
rappers shouting out other rappers that you like. And then I don't know. Let's see what else like.
We ain't having that.
Yeah, this is what it is.
You don't got no wins in me,
You don't got no
casa. My
wins in
shit
me,
proper.
casa.
You still sucking my kielbasa. From Hillshire, I still fire from helicopters. Watch the birdie, I heard him telling tales to the coppers.
Yeah, that might be the best verse on the entire album.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
I like it's
one
fun.
of the best.
Yeah. Sucking my kabasa.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one. And then the last F that at 419 at the end of the song is just funny to me. I just
419.
chuckle every single time I hear it.
I don't know why this.
It's just a couple of them in a row.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to get a little creative with that. For some reason, that in my iTunes that doesn't show the whole song, but I have.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
No, I'll find it.
It's not like it's a must.
Let's see.
Just gives me a giggle.
Files. All right, I ain't having that. At what time?
419.
Hey. All right.
Which I still couldn't wait for the all-time great William H. Word. And if you're calling, I'm not on, then you can call me back. Fuck that.
There's just a couple of these that are just gold.
You ain't put it for the sack. Fuck that.
Yeah, right after this.
Tic-tac, your breath smell like
Your
ass
breath
crack.
smell like ass crack. Fuck that.
And you know that when you MFC.
That's
It's
it.
fun.
Just those silly
I'm gonna
things.
have to
at
edit
the
out
end.
the beginning of that when I blow the speakers out of the joint.
That's all right. I got tissues. I'll just dab the blood coming out of my
What
ear.
about the listener? He can handle it.
Well, he doesn't exist, so they're good.
Yeah. This is what they call a passion project.
Yeah.
All right, then I have the first of the 2 Keys skit, as it's named. I would have named it the Blue Cheese skit myself, but I may have buried the lead, maybe.
I think it's no, they would have buried the lead. I think if they didn't call it 2 Keys, they kind of gave it away.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Which makes no sense. I mean,
yeah.
But we're thinking of a different 2 Keys, even though we don't live that life.
Yeah.
We're thinking, okay, yeah, he's talking about obviously some drug paraphernalia or some
cocaine,
some issues that he might have run into, and it's just not.
So this is the 2 Keys skit.
That's my words.
This is really just a setup to the whole thing. This is not much in this skit itself. It's really
no. It's funny though.
Son, man, wake the fuck up, man. Yo.
Like whenever Rock makes his voice crack, I love it.
You got beef with who?
2 Keys, son.
You got beat for 2 keys?
That's my word is bond, son. Come on, son. Get dressed. I'm downstairs. I'm downstairs right now.
Alright, let me kick this bitch
Hurry the
out.
fuck up, man.
I'm
Fuck
coming.
that bitch. Come on, man. Come on.
I ain't leaving it here. Shut up. I'm coming. I'm coming. Shut up.
Nigga. The fuck is Blue Cheese? And I ain't got beef with him anyway. Lock the door, girl. It's crazy.
He didn't kick her out though. He let her stay.
It was nice enough to let us stay. But he heard it
he's a
first.
gentleman.
He heard it right at first, and then when he hung up, he was so disoriented.
Come on, nigga. Get in this shit, man. Let's get this
Like that.
Hello. Fuck is Blue Cheese anyway?
He asked him then, who's Blue Cheese? All right, now this next one, like I almost hate entering into this song, but I'm just gonna play it.
What's the deal, Paul? I hope shit is peace and love. But if it ain't, fuck it, I'm forced to release these slugs. Peep these thugs. Sean Price MC, most miraculous. When pumped up, I'm forced to jump up. Punk
See,
and
like,
smack the
Ruck
shit.
on it
Act
is
like
not
it can't happen.
No,
When would
it's
I
not
ever
terrible.
let you slide? 2 fly niggas becoming victims of moon rise.
Listen, he's a great rapper. He's it's like he's not gonna
too good to.
But it's just it turns more West Coast when the West Coast guys come on it. Like they do turn up the
Like I'd almost hate to play it, but if you have that cut where it starts at 220, I'm just so confused. Like I thought it was like an interlude, but no. It's the dude's verse.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And I don't know why I
Hands
get
in the air if you feel his head. Shit a bump everywhere because it's real as fair. From the city of Long Beach to my home Brownsville. Cause real recognize real every time for real.
Yeah, I don't have.
We can leave Long Beach out of this. We don't need Long Beach. We're good with just the Brownsville.
Yeah.
We can go from Brownsville to Flatbush and just stop there.
Think I
we
have.
don't need to go any.
Yeah, for some reason.
And they could be the same place. I don't know.
My Apple Music, for whatever reason, I think maybe I cut them out of this because I'm playing off of my imported version of this album, not Apple Music version of this album. So I don't have that even on my list of things to play. But people,
it'd be just like the Dino Spectrum album.
Yeah.
It turns a full album into 13 minutes.
Yeah. I can still listen to that album straight through, but it's definitely laborious at times. It's
some of those tracks have to make it on just stuff that was not on a Atmosphere album,
right?
Because some of his verses on that album are just the best he's ever done.
Yeah, I think that's the leader of Knob Creek and Bodily Ether. I think that's on an Anticon. That's not on the Down the Spectrum one. That's one of my favorite verses.
So now I'm drawing a blank on the song, but
well, we're gonna do the Donna Spectre album at some point.
Well, yeah, we'll do it.
And we're just gonna play all the slug parts on it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, now next song is the Two Skis. Is the next?
Never did tell me who the hell is Blue Cheese anyway.
You ain't no fucking. What are you talking about, Blue Cheese, man?
You ain't say that you had beef with Blue Cheese.
I think I got beat for 2 keys.
Oh,
that shit out, you motherfucker.
Talking to me when I'm sleep, nigga. Fuck,
I know the nigga though, son.
When I'm fuck the nigga, I don't give a fuck who he is. Whatever, nigga. He beat you. He beat you. We can see that nigga. Just drive.
And then he beat him. So he went from beeping him to beef with Blue Cheese, and now he beat him for 2 keys.
It was early in the morning. There was a lot of misunderstanding going on there. Yeah. Moving right along, this is Magnum Force featuring the Representatives.
and this is a good. I mean, title track.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
I remember I bought an album from the Representatives, and I don't remember I've listened to it a second time.
I do remember that. They didn't represent very
I
well
don't
on that
know.
album.
Yo, you can't manage this. The ball scandalous from here to Los Angeles. Ruck is tossing the random shit, but can you get with the nigga tall Sean manuscript? Man, you shit all up in your pants when they can't click.
What? So what's up with the name Ruck? I mean,
He was Ruck, and then he
Was he
changed
Ruck?
it to his real name.
all like because he refers to himself as Sean P. throughout that. Sean, Price.
That's later on.
Never even Nocturnal. There's never a mention of Sean Price in
No, it
Nocturnal.
was always Ruck. No, it was Ruck the whole time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I get because what does Ruck mean? Ruckus? What is it like? What is it?
It was Rock and Ruck. I don't know. Maybe that's like it was like a whole.
I mean, I don't know what does
think-
Ruck
I mean,
mean outside of.
I don't know
Ruck
what
and Ruck.
Rock's real name is. I mean,
It says it on the credits. So
it starts with does it start with a J?
J. Bush. Yeah. So there's S.
Yeah.
Price and J. Bush.
Yeah.
And then it cut
So
back like
nothing, I mean-
and that like then it was like so Sean Price and Sean P. Now it's just like P. Like if you could just like shout out like P, like people know
Sean
who you're talking about. Yeah, because there's that that Aesop Rock. You know that Aesop Rock line from that one single that he put out when he was promoting Impossible Kid, and he says, "Anybody with a brain pump Sean P." You hear that line?
I'm sure I have, but I don't remember it.
Anybody with a fucking brain pump. He goes, I'm from where it's defense on 3, and where anybody with a fucking brain pumps Sean P. I love that line.
Yeah, that is a good
Yeah.
line.
So that was okay. I
And then Sean Wiggins is a good track.
I think I have another verse from Magnum Force. Maybe this might be a rock verse.
Damn son, yeah, none of front. I slack cats at random. Deflate your ego, Jew to gas. I'm not my lander. Take your dough with her and disappear like the Phantoms. In the back, pulling them hands up, singing the MFC anthem. And strong like Samson, short and dangerous. Cause I'm that nigga rock from Heltah Skeltah, plus I'm handsome. But scrape that, bring handguns. My crew sort of bananas like plantains. Any questions, booyah, your answer. This goes out to my man.
They're sort of bananas like plantains. Sort of bananas.
great.
That's smart,
Yeah,
man.
it's
That is
great.
good. I never picked up that until like right now.
And I love that he calls himself handsome because he is not traditionally handsome. He refers to himself as handsome a number of times, and he's got that rugged good looks.
Yeah,
but,
he's a rough looking
yeah,
dude.
but like not your traditional handsome looking guy.
And I mean, they always refer to Sean Price as Tall Sean, but I always thought Ruck was taller, maybe because he's so skinny.
like lankier, always makes right. Yeah. And then the culmination of the Two Keys skit, the arc. This is the third act of
Arc of the story.
Yeah, this the crib right here.
Right here, son. Oh, fuck the nigga that right here, man. This nigga doing, man. Fuck, yo. Oh, who that? Open the fucking door, man. You know what the fuck this is, man. Oh, that one. Oh, the fuck, yo. Hold up, baby. Yo. Hey, get my fuck, yo.
Yo.
Yo, everybody, calm the shit the fuck. Yo, calm the fuck. Yo, calm the fuck down. Everybody, shut the fuck up. Everybody. Yo, shut the fuck up. Yo, where the fuck is my 2 keys at, yo? Huh? Fuck is my shit at, pa? My fucking keys,
Just
yo.
some keys.
Two
That's
keys.
it.
Literally,
That's what I'm talking
literally
about.
keys.
It sounds like more than 2 though. And he was really shaking them in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I love the Foley work.
Those are like a set of
The
janitor's
Foley work
keys.
is great on that. On this whole
It
album,
is,
the cars driving away.
Yeah.
Some of these.
The post production's solid.
Yeah. Did I not? I don't think I took any clip from Sean Wiggins. Did I?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good track. It's short. It's just Sean
it's
Price.
just Sean Price.
Just
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is it.
Jack shit
Yeah.
to Sean P.
By-
Before I
by-
launch 3 shots directly at your army. Word is born, we be on some shit to the tooth out. Loose mouth niggas catch a hold and they goose down.
Like this is a Heltah Skeltah song. This is what you'd expect the whole album to
right.
be. And this is a good beat.
Yeah. And then you got Forget Me.
Yeah, to all my hardcore niggas, yo, I'm still the same. Won't let the game change me, I'm trying to change the game. Shit is mad. Hip hop, party rules, no jeans. Timbs or hoodies, a hat sound like you mean me. Just still get shot up, ain't nothing there but players. Fuck you think, niggas stepping on your $1,000 gators. Stupid asses. Get shook at the sight of party crashes at the door acting like you don't know who Bummy Jab is. They tell you rock, you telling me don't act no fool. You heard a scotch on the rocks. I make the whole shit cool, but I'm a
You heard a scotch on the rocks. I make the whole shit cool. Yeah, kind of a lazy beat. Not much to it, but I don't know. You know,
What song's that?
that's Forget Me Nots.
Okay.
Actually, I have another verse. I think I might have grabbed the Sean Price verse from this from that song.
To all my hardcore niggas, don't forget me. I know the game changing, all of these niggas wanna switch me. Never that. I'm constantly coming with clever rap. Sever that. Nigga head and slapping with others trap. You better pack. You'll gather the outcome, you outdone. I doubt them. Niggas can fuck with the ruckus without guns. Hey, yo, what it's about, son? Hey, yo, witness a nigga clout, son. Tripping with these chickens and sipping, don't get it stout, son.
You know, I don't know. Nothing too stand out about that, right? But I don't know.
Nah.
And then I think I don't know why I have two clips for this next song because I remember going through it and not liking this song. The Black
MFC Laws?
No, Black Fonzarellis.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
I skipped that right away.
Yeah.
6 sons on the ones with the lump sums. Stick guns, get funds, make your chick run.
Nah.
I think I like the beginning of Rock's.
You
know what I actually like? I like the way the beat, when the beat in between choruses, they bring it down and then they slowly bring it up. I don't know why that tickles me. That tickles me. You can hear it.
Bagging that sound.
Hey, the name is Alvin, baby.
Yeah.
Call me what you wanna. Nowhere near ugly, but some call me Rock this monster.
Yeah, so you want ugly.
You was warned about by your mama that I never love you as much as I love my marijuana. Hang out from sundown to sun up, starting to ton of drama with thugs. Snake me one time, they will harm you. Still you goody.
And I like that. Whatever that little eep beep. I don't know if like a little woman singing.
They
Like,
will harm you. Still you goody chicks.
I
Be
like that.
attracted to my karma. Let's be friends some other time. Right now I'm trying to get behind you. She
let's be friends some other time. Right now I'm trying to get behind you. I don't. Okay.
You know Rock.
You know, Rock. You're
Always chasing
You're
the tail.
incorrigible. Next is Do the Knowledge.
That is a skit, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, I was doing the
Not a skit.
Yes.
It's like.
But it's the
Yeah,
it's the
40
Snickers
seconds or
one. We used to love this one too all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, God, this shit look like my dick, girl. For real,
Look
girl.
like
yo,
my
don't
dick,
never,
girl.
Yo, I want never see nobody with a Snicker bar.
Don't do that shit.
For real, girl, because it's like,
Do the knowledge.
It's brown, girl. It got veins on it, you know what I'm saying? Got nuts in it.
Got nuts.
God.
Do the knowledge.
The shit got nougat.
The shit got nougat.
God. Do the knowledge, God. It's like, it's subliminally, you know what I'm saying? It's like subliminally people, like,
And
you
it's
know,
called Snickers.
they fond of the black man dick, God. For
Word
real,
up.
God.
And it's called the Snickers.
A Snicker.
They
ain't
laughing at you.
God.
They're laughing.
Word up.
Do the knowledge.
This is almost like, it's almost like they're making fun of like a Wu-Tang interlude, like because it's like because like do the knowledge, like
yeah,
Wu-Tang
that
always
is-
talks
yeah,
about
yeah.
like the knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was doing
Yo,
the
let's
knowledge.
drop the knowledge.
Yeah.
Though, yo, they laughing,
They're
at
laughing
you.
at you. I don't know. I don't know. Still to this day, if I see a Snickers bar, I don't think about that. That skit.
Never
Yeah.
once. Maybe a Baby Ruth. I don't know.
Baby Ruth, I think of Caddyshack.
Yeah, I can't not think of Caddyshack every single
Yeah.
time I open one up. And you know what? Got no problem eating it
No,
either.
I don't care. I would. Yeah, I would be. I would
never
be
deterred me.
Bill Murray, just to like
No,
eat right out of the pool.
floating in the
Yeah.
pool, no problem.
MFC Laws featuring Outlaws and Doc Holliday.
Yeah, the one thing I remember from this is like, did they steal Tricknology from the J? There's so many J. Rue references that I'm making,
Yeah.
but it's like they stole
But it's also
Tricknology
like
from the
like
J. Rue
you're coming
album.
from like okay, so that was the first time you heard it. Technology was the first time you heard that. But in that world, you know, there's so much lingo, so much language in that world that we're not familiar with. That we just would assume that, oh, you stole that from because that's what we heard. But who knows? That was like very popular within that. I mean, they're all
could've
Brooklyn,
been, yeah.
right? I mean, it's Brownsville, and then I don't know exactly where J.
Yeah.
Lou is from, but he was.
But just like that voice, just like
Yeah.
the Tricknology voice,
Right.
or what was the? Yeah, that's what it was. That's
Yeah,
that's
right,
what it was.
right. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
Any nigga who be thinking I'm a pacifist, your ass get dissed. No, you couldn't last in this. When your ass felt the force of the Magnum, bitch, you'll drag this dick. Head nigga out the car, smack him up with the heater, give his face a scar.
Yeah, it's definitely very technology. That sounds, yeah. But that's probably an effect that everybody's playing with, around the time.
It's like something
also,
new. Yeah, everyone's got to do
well,
it. It's like the whole
this was actually,
auto-tune
come to think of
craze.
it, I remember seeing this was recorded at D&D Studios, which was definitely where J. Rue recorded. So whoever was engineering at D&D Studios was like, "Oh, I got this fun new trick today. You want to hear this fun new trick I'm trying?"
It's either that or he like fell asleep on the board.
Yeah, just slowed it down. Yeah.
Man, did you hit that button again?
That's a place like people tour like Motown records, and I would like to tour Motown records as well, but I'm pretty sure D&D Studios is probably nothing now. It's probably, it's probably a startup now, but that's to me like that's a place I would want to go is D&D Studios because
it's probably like some cupcake cafe or some shit like that. So, man, I was speaking of Motown, man. I was busting out some Otis Redding this morning.
Right? That's a nice way to start your day.
Hell yeah, man! I get like sitting on the dock of the bay is like a perfect song of like it's just a good reason why you would love music. Yeah, like just some of the things he does with his voice in that song. Like this, how can you not love this?
Perfect.
Like this man is special.
That's why I was this podcast. Like you said, it's a limited amount of albums that it's a good amount of albums, but certainly not forever. But transitioning into like stuff we found later, like is. I grew into liking Otis Redding and, Bill Withers and stuff like that. It's like you learn to like that stuff. So it's not going to be the same stories or the same memories that you have of that. But, it's fun to talk about those albums.
Especially when you find out Bill Withers wrote like 75% of the hit tracks. Like he wrote everybody's music. Yeah. Well, he wrote the Aretha Franklin hit. He wrote... what else did he write? He wrote a bunch of stuff for Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's funny. Stevie Wonder, he's known as a writer, but
well, yeah.
All right, back to Heltah Skeltah.
Back to Heltah Skeltah. Yeah.
This is I took a skip.
Hold your head, boy. I know this shit's so bad. Hold your head, boy. You know when they got you. Gotta
hold on, Paul. Yeah. I'ma try. I can't lie. I'm kind of fucked up since my mama died.
This is what you were talking about before. The other.
Yeah. Seem like Big Rock.
Yeah, it's not a love song. It's just kind of like a slow jam.
The only thing that Sean deserves is some weed, money, and pussy to calm my nerves.
Okay, all right. There's always a line in there to make you laugh or something. There's something.
And Rock confirmed that in his latest album.
Yeah.
Good weed, bitches, and guns.
That's right. Yeah. Gang's All Here. Is this the last? This is the last song on Gang's All Here.
Yeah, this is it.
MFC and BCC.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah, I took a couple different clips from this. Magnum Force and Boot Camp Click, which I thought was redundant. I thought that was all the same. I guess who's in Magnum Force that isn't in BCC and vice versa. Like I don't know. Like there was too many break-off groups. Like they always started like Magnum Force. I thought that was just like the whole bunch of them. I don't know.
I didn't know that Magnum Force was different from any of
them. Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought. But it says like featuring Magnum Force and BCC. So it's like, how are you gonna have featuring BCC when Heltah Skeltah is in BCC? Like, just like they're all over the place.
Rock and Ruck are like in charge of the boot camp clique. Like I think they're the generals of the boot camp clique.
How are you gonna be featured? They just said featuring OGC, or just say I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It's just.
Anything I ain't got it in me, cause I'm plenty friendly. Could be
it's 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
You up like any of your vinegar, vinegar trash, but loud scream, give me the any. I make it hard to get away like Timber Penny, semi-auto. Put a swift into your track, me cap creeps and Morse code. What's in the smoke signals? That's just how my gas be. Tactics I practice are phenomenal. Axe beats. What kind of drama do the bummy jab rig them?
Bummy jab.
It's almost like they wrote a whole bunch of raps that didn't make it into the other songs, and so they just threw it all together in this because the song doesn't make any sense. There's no like
through line.
There's no no. It's all just verses.
I mean, a lot of it is how much of the stuff is like it's like all right, we're gonna shoot about we're gonna rap about guns. That's the through line to this song. Like whatever. Like how am I better than you? Or like that's
But like just the fact that Gang's All Here, it's just everybody.
Right.
Like they got all their boys in the.
I'm imagining this. I grabbed a rock.
You better recognize I be wrecking guys, fucking cockroaches still breathing. I'm your pesticide like decon. See Sean been on some shit from day one. Spray guns at funny style niggas who acting gay, son. Ruck made the paper, you can turn the page one. Butt fucking the chick with the motherfucking gay, son. Who said that? Ruck said whack shit and you're dead that. For the head crack, leave your face lumpy like Craig Black.
Ooh, a Craig Mack diss at the end.
that is a. Oh man, did you cut that off at the worst
Leave
time?
your face lumpy like Craig Mack.
That's a dandy.
Yeah. Who's, by the way, his first album I liked a lot.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
That was a go-to beat for battles.
That's right. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was.
It was perfect. That's why it was just.
Yeah,
the
that's a
perfect
great.
battle.
That's a great
battle
beat. I don't know who produced that, but.
Was that was Puff Daddy?
No, I don't think Puff Daddy like. It took me a long time to realize that Puff Daddy didn't produce Biggie's first album. He was just like he was a producer and they put it together, but
like executive.
He
producer,
executive produced it, but
like he bankrolled the whole thing probably.
But what's his name? I know it's slipping my mind, but the actual producer of it.
I don't know. Have to look that up.
Yeah, the Mr. C, I think.
Maybe. Okay, maybe it was Craig Mack.
Mr. C. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up studio albums. Ready to Die. I need to know. This I need to know.
Now I need to know who the hell produced that Craig Mack because I thought it was Puff Daddy.
Track listing. Producers: Sean Combs, Easy Mo D, Easy Mo D, Easy Mo D, Easy Mo D, Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, so DJ Premier had a song on it. Unbelievable, Lord Finesse. So it wasn't Mr. C. I don't know, he was just shout out. And then let's look up. I want to look up Craig Mack.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was DJ Premier.
Yeah, that could be. Discography, Project Funk the World. That was it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Producer. So there's Get Down, Flavor in Your Ear, Easy Mo D.
Flavor in Your
Ear. Same guy as did most of Biggie's first. I guess he was Bad Boy's go-to producer.
Obviously, he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, he did.
Where the hell did he go?
Easy Mo D was. Well, I'm sure he's doing great. He's probably set up great. He did Get Down and Flavor in Your Ear. And Judgment Day was another great song off that album. Yeah, so look at that. A guy I didn't like. I just realizing now that Easy Mo D is one of my favorite producers of all time.
Yeah, right. It's just no clue who he is.
That's funny. That goes to show you how stupid you can be.
Now was that a clean album? Was Craig Mack's album a clean album?
I don't think so. Is that possible?
Yeah, I don't remember there being an explicit lyrics banner on there, but I also don't remember him cursing either.
That would be something.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out. I want to do. That's a good album. It's an album I haven't thought about, but I would like to touch. I would like to touch on that album. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's fun. All right. Well, that was over an hour of yapping about Heltah Skeltah's
reminiscing
Magnum Force. We did it.
It's amazing that we did more on this album than we did about Lucy Ford. Although Lucy Ford was 100% about the album. There was a lot of we took a lot of forks on the road on this one.
We did. I also I regret now I put a lot of work into this. Like I started to realize you have to produce these things. If you want it to be good, you got to actually sit down with the album. You got to go over it. You got to take some notes, chop the things down, which I wish we had done for Lucy Ford. But we will for the next.
There's going to be a Lucy Ford part 2
there will be.
Because we already talked about how we got to redo that one anyway.
Yeah. I just want to, it's better. I enjoyed this better with pre-producing the clips and stuff like that. That worked better to me.
Maybe our listener will enjoy it better too.
Well, listen, one of these days we're going to actually promote it, and maybe we'll get somebody to listen to it.
So 13 people listened to the Method Man one, and I'm pretty sure I was only 11 of them.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Well, the next one, I think I don't know if you want to do A$AP Rock next, do an A$AP Rock album next, but we can post it in the I'm an A$AP Rock group, and if anybody cares, they can listen to it from there. I guess what we got to do is start posting them like in groups. I'm in also like a boom bap group, and so maybe start posting stuff like in there. People,
we'd have to make sure that we are on point with it though, because I'd be very There's gonna be a lot of pressure.
Oh, we
We're
just
gonna
don't
be
read.
posting
Just
it
don't
on
read
the
the.
big
Just
ASAP
don't read the
Rocks.
comments. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Don't worry, I'm not gonna read.
Do you want to be for what Labor Days? You talking about being on point for Labor Days, or for like anything?
I don't know if. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that album for the most part, but I don't know if I'd want to do a different one first. Like, did we just go to Impossible Kid and do that first?
Okay, so that, I mean, obviously, A$AP Rock was influential as a kid. Impossible Kid came out, just a few years ago. So, not.
Yeah.
That's,
I know it's like your favorite.
maybe
album.
my favorite album of all time, and I only say maybe because his new one might be better than
It's
that.
pretty damn close.
So it's like up until 2 months ago, yes, my favorite album of all time, and then he releases another one, maybe. So I'm down to talk about Impossible Kid. I would love to listen to that album all week and just learn. I'm excited to learn more about it. Take my time, look at the lyrics a little bit more closely because I'm still digesting a lot of those lyrics on that album. So
I was watching. I just caught myself watching reaction videos, and I was like, you know what? I want to see what people are like doing A$AP reaction videos because I want people to enjoy it.
Yeah,
how I enjoy it.
They're out there. A$AP
so how many
reaction videos are out there.
A lot of them. Yes, and everybody is like, "Who the f is this dude?"
Okay.
Everyone is impressed by him.
I would like that. Yeah.
People that like a lot of people do the None Shall Pass because I think that's like
None Shall Pass is his biggest song.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and it like word for word, it's probably like his most like vocabulary, like broad vocabulary wise. Like I think it has the most individual words of any song ever created, including like Bob Dylan songs. Remember that dude that did the video on his vocabulary? He did it about that song, and he like went through the meaning of each line and like how cash cows actually beef.
Yeah,
it was like he went on about that one line.
That's the thing about doing an A$AP Rock album is we're not going to cover it the way that like there's so many hidden meanings and I just don't catch them all. Like I catch some of them but sometimes I'll listen to an album of his 5 years later and be like, oh wait a minute, I just caught this line, then I pick it up. But that's what's great about his music is you can
because he speaks in metaphors.
Yeah,
so
and you have to
and in symbols.
Yeah. And also, just because it means something to you doesn't mean that's what he meant. But that's the beauty of whatever. So, all right.
Yeah, we could probably do a whole podcast on Shrunk. I could probably do a whole podcast on that.
See, that
song.
Now you're talking into like his stuff is so dense. You could really do a podcast on every song. That's a whole nother podcast. But I'm into. So
that was Magnum Force.
That was Magnum Force. And all right, I guess we'll go
Beef with Blue Cheese.
Beef with Blue Cheese. And thanks so much for listening to this far.
If you made it,
all right,
we appreciate it.
Stop recording, and then you can hang out for a second.
You
Yeah.
a tough ass geezer. Give you props for that.